way the Barrenness is done, I think a few people have actually, I know at least there have been readers, advanced readers, and I know at least a couple of people have finished this version of the novel. And the way that it's set out and structured, I have 4 viewpoint characters. Lil Lee is the heroine of the novel. She's the main character. And her adversary is called Will Owens. And then there's sort of her support person. Her name is Reading.m4v. And then we also, I forgot Danny Hatcher. How could I forget Danny Hatcher? Her love interest is Danny Hatcher. Everybody has to have that. So I've got those 4 characters, and then there's a surprise from her Aunt Mamie from the grave. She comes into the book, in the book, but I won't give away much more. But I'm going to read you pretty early on in the book, so I won't spoil anything for anybody. Lil's last visit with her Aunt Mamie. Lil could not get thoughts of Aunt Mamie out of her head. When she last saw her, Mamie had really made her point about the importance of Lil having a child. Not having children takes something from you, makes you hard. Was Aunt Mamie prophetic? Lil did feel rather bitter these days. She snapped at just about everyone who crossed her path, and her soul pined for something. It must be children, for she had experienced everything else. The emptiness came in the mornings, making it difficult to get out of bed. She stared at children in supermarkets and malls and wondered what it would be like to push a stroller, hold a tiny hand. There are no guarantees with children anyhow. Lil sat with legs akimbo on a king-size pillow on the floor and leaned against her aunt's legs, legs that had become feeble over the years. Aunt Mamie combed through her hair, not releasing it from the ponytail holder, not pulling it so hard like she used to. She had been doing Lil's hair since the day Paris snipped it, causing one of the worst panic moments of Lil's childhood. She'd never forget how upset she was after seeing her plait on the pillow, and how satisfied she felt when Aunt Mamie beat Paris with a rubber sandal and forbid her to ever touch Lil's hair again. In Ohio, she would wish for that kind of protection, the feeling of her aunt's fingers in her hair, as if they were sheltering her. Kate, her stepmother, was nice and caring, but she had not been as protective as perhaps she could have been. Though she combed Lil's hair, washed her clothes, did all that stuff, she just didn't see the small details in life like Aunt Mamie did, except when it came to her own daughter, Nikki, Lil's half-sister. More guarantees with them than there is without them, her aunt finally said. Maybe, Lil said, thinking of how Kate had tried and tried until she had Nikki. Her stepmother was 42 when she got pregnant. It's not urgent. Lots of women are having babies later in life. Look at Kate. The old woman twisted Lil's head around. You ain't lots of women, her aunt said. You must have forgot about your fibroids. She paused, but Lil didn't see a need to respond. You think you got time? But all I'm saying is time will trick you. It ain't never had a problem manipulating circumstances. Lil rubbed her arms and tilted her head to the ceiling. She felt her aunt's hands fall away from her hair. I'm living proof of that. No need of you being as well. I just don't want you to end up like me. Like what? Lil asked. End up like what? She kept staring into blankness. Her aunt hadn't had children or built an empire. So what? She had created a legacy for Lil and her sisters and their children. What was she talking about? At least she had valued the land her parents left. The others, including Lil's father, had sold out. Hard to believe, for the buildings not only carried the Lee family history and its air and soil, but also held memories of her mother. Stop pretending you don't understand, her aunt said. Now come here. Lil pulled herself up on her knees and faced her. Aunt Mamie had once had the thickest hair she had ever seen, but now it was thin and mangy. Age, illness, and weight loss had broken her. None of it could be helped. Lil guessed except the latter. Aunt Mamie brought it on herself, refusing to eat much, if anything. The doctors had threatened to force-feed her. Her face sagged. Her eyes hinted of mist. She squeezed them closed and then opened them again, staying silent. Only one other time had Lil seen her look so raw. Her aunt just didn't believe in exposing her feelings. She certainly did not cry much. Tears were precious, for things that mattered, she once said. She told Lil she had cried herself silly when her son was stillborn, one of the few things that had mattered in her life. But that was about all she would say about her son, as if the subject was taboo. Her unheated gaze caused Lil to avert her eyes. With sweaty hands, the old woman touched her chin and moved her face back in her direction. "I see you do understand," she said. "It gets worse. It's like giving up your womanhood." Lil tried to wriggle away, but Mamie held her fast. "Now you listen to me, girlfriend. You gotta slow down. Fast cars, meetings, all them things can wait. Your womanhood won't wait. It will just slip away if you don't use it. You go out there and do what you got to do." Lil gave in, climbed up on the bed, and pressed her head against her aunt's flabby shoulder. Despite the older woman's dislike of physical affection, she cradled Lil now. They sat in silence for a long time, Lil thinking about how time had flown, how it didn't seem that long ago that she was a teenager. At 17, she had met Jerome, fallen in love with him, and lost her virginity. That was more than 20 years ago. Stop at that. Okay. Enjoy yourselves, and if you've got a book and I haven't signed it, I'm very happy to sign it.